As outdoor holiday light season approaches, you may be asking yourself, which outdoor smart plug is best for you? Hello, I am Wanderer001 and this is a comparison of the Wyze Outdoor plug and the TP-Link Kasa outdoor plug. I've done individual reviews of both. Reviews will be up there in the corner. So if you're looking for a more in-depth look at either, please feel free to check those out. This is just going to be a quick and dirty comparison of these two particular outdoor plugs, just in case you were kind of on the fence already and were looking for a quick hit to figure out which one you should go for. And let's start off with the glaring item that's probably staring at you right now, and that is the form factor. You will notice that the Wyze outdoor plug is much bulkier than the TP-Link. Now, there are pluses and minuses to each individual footprint. You will notice that the Wyze has a thinner profile while the TP-Link has a chunkier profile, but the overall box shape of the Wyze is much larger than the TP-Link. And with that being said, coming to the front, you will notice that the individual plug area, because both have two sockets that you can use, the plug area for the TP-Link is much more usable than the more compact Wyze. So if that's something that you're concerned about, TP-Link looks like it's going to be ahead for you. But what I want to mention is the gaskets for both. TP-Link doesn't attach. You might lose it, you probably will lose it, and then you're stuck with one outlet that may or may not be covered. However, with the Wyze, you'll notice that their gaskets are attached, so you can't lose them. But that can come off, so you could possibly lose it. It's just less likely than you would for the TP-Link. But again, surface area versus a gasket. Just something to consider. If you're not worried about losing your gasket, another thing to consider with an outdoor plug that you might not have thought about is actual plug length. And here you can see that TP-Link actually is the winner here with a plug length of 9 inches to the 6 inches that you get with the Wyze outdoor plug. So if you need this to stick out a little further from the wall, this could be TP-Link could be your better bet for this particular instance. Both outdoor plugs are rated at IP64 weather resistance, use 2.4 gigahertz, and both have a stated distance of 300 feet. I have been able to test out to 145 feet for both, and they work perfectly fine. So that's some data comparison where they tie. They also tie with use of voice assistants. Both support Google and Alexa. Both have applications that allow you to set timers, on-off states, and routines depending on which app you're using. So they're very similar in that aspect. Both have energy monitoring. However, TP-Link allows you to monitor per individual socket on the device, while Wyze groups that together into a single readout. Is that better or worse? Only you know for sure what works best for you. Some unique features of both. On the TP-Link side, you have the ability to turn off all your status lights. Connection, on and off switch for plug 1 and for plug 2. You cannot do that with the Wyze. You will have a status light always on. The unique feature for the Wyze is the dusk to dawn sensor, which is right there, which will allow the Wyze box, independently of a Wi-Fi connection based on ambient light, to turn something on and off as long as you programmed it in the app to do so. One other aspect that I'm going to talk about very quickly is ease of setup. This one goes hands down to the Wyze. This setup like that in less than a minute and a half. TP-Link took me 3 tries, and I don't know, I'm a little disconcerted with that. I've set up plenty of TP-Link products in the past, but this one in particular gave me a lot of trouble. Food for thought. Last but not least for my comparison of these two particular devices is actually energy usage. If you're going to be using this outside to have your holiday lights on, well, you don't want to use any more power than you have to since you're going to have all those lights on. And this is where you start to see marked differences between the TP and the Wyze. The TP power usage when idle and the Wyze are exactly the same at 0.5 watts. We start to see a difference at when we have one outlet on. TP-Link uses 0.7 while the Wyze uses 0.5. When you have 2 outlets on, TP-Link uses 0.9 and the Wyze uses 0.6. So yes, I know those sound like very small numbers and not really something that should be considered, but you have to think, how long are you gonna keep your holiday lights on overnight at dusk? I mean, we're getting into the season where it gets dark, so you're gonna have these things on for quite some time, and the amount of electricity that you use will add up. So even if it's just this much, I wanna know about that, and I wanna tell you about that so you can make an informed decision. Last but not least is pricing. TP-Link, you are looking at $20, and Wyze, depending on where you get it, is $18. Sometimes price is the deal breaker, and is the price what does it for you? Is it one of those other features? Let me know in the comment section below. What I will say, personally, I am looking to actually trade out a lot of my TP products. They have been starting to give me issues after a recent firmware update. There doesn't look like there's a firmware update on the roadmap for them. Not this particular plug, but I think for myself, the time has come to sunset my love of the TP devices in favor of others. Will they be Wyze? Who's to say? But for this comparison, hopefully you found the data that I presented somewhat useful. Again, in the corner there, if you're looking for more in-depth on either, you can find them there. With that being said, I have been Wanderer001. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.